June month, exactly he will pay how much amount. So for all 180 members, how much amount they have paid on in the month of June. Suppose, for example, the fees is 60,000. Out of 60,000, they have paid in the month of June only 30,000. All 180 members are paid 30,000. So 180 into 30,000, okay, 5,40,000. So how they can know? They can summation of all the fees details, and then the remaining amount they will pay in the month of August. So this is how they can process and they can store the data. Okay. And after that, after 1980s, the data is much more bigger. It is in the form of MB. What is MB? Megabytes. Megabytes. So here, how we can processing the data by using I mean to say programming language or technology, that is nothing but Java .NET. Okay. And for storage, what they have used, RDBMS, that is nothing but MySQL, SQL Server. Okay. Now, after that, in 1990s, the data is much more bigger. It is in the form of GBs. So how they can process this GBs? By using MSBI, comma, Oracle BI, these tools. And for processing, for storage, what they are using, Netezza, Vertica, Teradata. These are the databases. After that, the data is much more bigger. It is in the form of TBs. What is TBs? It's a terabytes. Next one is PBs. That is nothing but petabytes. Next one is ZB. That is nothing but zettabytes. Next one is EBs. That is etabytes. Okay. Next one is YBs. That is nothing but yottabytes. So this is very huge volume of data. Nowadays, the data is increasing day by day. The data is very much increasing day by day. It is increasing. So this type of data, this huge volume of data, we call it as big data. That is what we have written in the top, right? What is big data? Big data, it is nothing but it's a huge volume of data. Okay, basically what is big data? Big data is a problem statement, right? Big data is a problem statement. How we can solve that problem statement? By using one technology, call it as Hadoop. Hadoop is a framework. By using Hadoop, we can process and we can store huge volume of data. That is nothing but big data. For every problem, we have a solution. So here, big data is a huge volume of data. Here, big data is a problem statement. So what is the solution? The solution is Hadoop. It's a framework. It's a framework. Up to this point, any doubts?
So mainly, yeah. So mainly it is focused only on the data, right? I mean, processing, storage, and all those stuff.
Exactly. Only processing and storage. That's it. Any doubts? Any other doubts, Srini and Rahul?
No, not now. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Now.
Not now.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So now the next one is MySQL RDBMS versus Hadoop. Why RDBMS cannot handle big data, cannot process or cannot storage big data? Why Hadoop will store big data, and why Hadoop will process big data? Okay, we'll see. Have you heard vertical scaling and horizontal scaling?
Yeah.
Have you heard this? Okay. Okay. I will explain this so that you guys came to know. Yes.
I just have one more question. Sorry, I forgot to ask. So,
Okay.
as you said, Hadoop is big data plus Hadoop framework is only for zettabytes, or it also applicable petabytes and after that, whatever. I mean, I'm not sure.
After that also, see, just for information only up to zettabytes. After that also you can able to process it.
Okay. Right.
Okay. Yeah. So what is scaling? What is the meaning of scaling?
Scaling is
Yeah.
increasing as per the demand. Either it
Add
is
or remove components. Am I right?
yeah.
Yes or no? So suppose for example, this is your system. Okay, in this system we have a CPU. In this CPU we have few components are there: RAM, and next one is hard disk, and next one is processor, right? So initially this is your RAM, hard disk, and this is your processor. Okay, now so initially your RAM size is 4 GB, for example, and your hard disk size is 500 GB, and your processor is 5 gigahertz. So initially, how much data you can store? How much data you can store? 500 GB of data you can store. So tomorrow, maybe after 2 months or 3 months or 4 months, your data is much more bigger. That the data will be increased from 5 terabytes to 2 terabytes. At that time, what you need to do? You need to increase your configurations, right? From 4 GB to you can increase your RAM up to 8 GB. For 500 GB to you can increase your 2 terabytes. So this processor you can increase up to 6 gigahertz, for example. So after that, your data is much more bigger. It is up to 4 terabytes. Okay. So here the RAM should be, you can increase up to 16 GB, and you can increase this processor up to 8 gigahertz, right? So suppose for example, after 2 months, your data is 10 terabytes. You can't handle 10 terabytes in one single system because we have some limitations are there. Up to this point, up to certain point only, we can add the RAM, we can add hard disk, we can add processor. But after that, we can't add, right? Yes or no? So that's why vertical scaling cannot handle vertical scaling cannot handle big data, cannot handle big data. So that's why it is not handled, but it is not handling huge volume of data. It cannot process and it cannot store the huge volume of data. Now the coming to the next one is horizontal scaling. Next one is horizontal scaling. So here initially my data size is 4 GB. Okay, so 1, 2, so I have 4 CPUs. I have 4 CPUs. 4 CPUs, it is nothing but 4 CPUs is equal to 4 systems. Am I right? So here each system contains 1 terabyte, 1 terabyte, 1 terabyte, and 1 terabyte. So total 4 terabytes. Your data size also 4 terabytes. Here we call it as CPU1, CPU2, CPU3, and CPU4. Okay. So this is for your understanding purpose. I have mentioned each one as one CPU1, CPU2, CPU3, and CPU4. But in our real-time scenario, we call it as, for each CPU1, we call it as node 1. Node is nothing but one system, one node. So node 2. Okay. Like this, node 3, and node 4. Suppose tomorrow your data size is increased from 4 terabytes to 8 terabytes. At that time, what you need to do, you need to increase your number of nodes. So that time I need to increase my number of nodes from 4 to 8. 4 to 8. So I can process, I can store the remaining total 8 terabytes of data. Suppose for example, after 4 months or 5 months, your data is increased from 8 terabytes to 12 terabytes, and that time you need to add 4 more nodes. So all these nodes are connected to one single network. All nodes are connecting to one single network, that is called it as a cluster. That is called it as cluster. So in interviews, the first one is, interviewer will ask, can you please tell me about your current project. Once you have completed whatever the project you are currently working on, so once you are completed, after that the immediate question is how many number of nodes of cluster you are using in your current project. So you need to tell the 12 node cluster or 15 node cluster or 18 node cluster. This 18 nodes, 20 nodes, 25 nodes, based on depends on your data. You can increase your nodes. So for example, Yahoo is currently is using 12,000 node cluster, 12,000 node cluster, because they are maintaining and they are processing, they are handling so much of data. And also Facebook also currently they are using 11,000 node cluster, 11,000 node cluster. So because they are handling, see, Facebook data, Instagram data, WhatsApp data, so much of data they are handling. See, one node cluster and two node cluster, 100 node cluster, it is not possible to handle big data. So that's why there is no limitation in this process, in this horizontal scaling. That's why Hadoop will process and store huge volume of data. Any doubts up to this? Srini and Lahul?
So, I mean, so vertical scale, so in the horizontal scaling, we just increase only the storage, and in the vertical
Exactly.
scaling, will increase all RAM, hard disk, and the processor. Is
Components, yes, exactly.
And from the cost perspective,
Mm,
horizontal scaling is best as compared to vertical.
exactly, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it clear, guys?
Yes.
Shall I move on?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. So now the next one is, suppose for example, this is our world. This is our world. Okay. Can you please mute yourself? Please, can you please mute yourself? Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. So this is our world. Okay. This is 20% and this is 80%. Now, suppose for example, this is my RDBMS. RDBMS, nothing but MySQL, SQL Server. Okay. Now, tell me, by using RDBMS, what kind of data we can process? What kind of data we can process? We can process structured format data. Am I right? Structured data. Okay. By using
Correct.
RDBMS, we can process structured data. Now, the remaining 80%. So the remaining 80%, we have a different kinds of data also, files. Okay. So here we can give Hadoop. So Hadoop can process different kinds of data sets, different kinds of word data. That is nothing but Hadoop can process structured data. Hadoop can process unstructured data. Hadoop can process semi-structured data. Okay. So can you please give me examples of, you know about structured data. So I don't want to give any examples for structured data. So can you please tell me what are the examples of unstructured data?
It can be
Images.
log files.
No, 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 no. Not a log files. Log files are coming under semi-structured data. Unstructured data, it is nothing but images, videos, chat messages, recordings. Can you please tell me in our daily scenario where exactly we have seen all these things, images, videos, chat messages, and recordings in your WhatsApp? Yes or no? In your WhatsApp, all these things are daily. You are uploading your photos and your videos in your status. In your status daily, you can post your videos, right? In status videos, and WhatsApp also videos, chat messages, recordings. All these things we can see in the WhatsApp, right? That is called it as unstructured data. That is unstructured data. What is semi-structured data? It is nothing but now log files, XML, JSON, Avro, sequence, ORC, RC, PARQ. So these are the semi-structured data. These are the semi-structured data. So by using, we can't process unstructured data and semi-structured data by using RDBMS, because RDBMS can handle only structured format data. They can't store, they can't process unstructured data and semi-structured data. But by using Hadoop, we can process all types of data. That is nothing but even here one more thing, even one more thing I can add here, one more thing I can add. That is nothing but your streaming data. Your streaming data. What is streaming data? Nothing but live data. Yes or no? Streaming data, it is nothing but live data. How we can process this live data? By using Spark. By using Spark, we can able to process streaming data. Suppose, for example, you have booked a cab by using Ola app or Uber app. Can you tell me, once you have booked a cab, so you first immediately, once the cab is booked, immediately you will get this cab driver details and also cab details and also OTP details. That is the first one. The second one is where exactly the cab is in the next how many minutes he will reach to my place. Okay, all these things are live details. Yes or no? So this live details, how we can process? By using Spark. By using Spark, you can handle streaming data also, and also crick info, right? That is also a streaming data. Suppose, for example, the cricket match is going on in stadium, but you can see the live updates in ESPN crickinfo.com, or we have so many websites are available. Yes or no? And also we have a Swiggy app. Suppose you have done one order, you have booked an order. Suppose one food item you have ordered in by using Swiggy app. So that is also, so first immediately food is being prepared. So we have a three steps are there. First one is order confirmed. The second one is food is being prepared. The third one is the person is going to, I mean to say, restaurant. So after that, once food is prepared, he will I mean to say, he will collect the food, and he will give that food to in your place. Yes or no? So all these things you can able to check in your Swiggy app, where exactly in how many minutes he will be reach into your home. Everything you can able to, you can see in your Swiggy app. This is called it as live data. So all these types of data we can process by using Hadoop. Any questions so far?
No.
Okay, cool. So the next one is Hadoop. So who introduced this Hadoop? Basically, duck cutting. Duck cutting is introduced Hadoop in the year in the year 2005. In the year 2005. Here also we need to use storage. So for here also we need to see storage and processing. So what is storage? Storage, here we can use HDFS. What is HDFS? Hadoop Distributed File System. Okay. Now, what is processing? For processing, we can use initially MapReduce. In initial stage, we can go for MapReduce. MapReduce code we can develop by using Java, .NET, Python, shell scripting. Okay, Perl scripting. Any one of the language you can use and you can develop the MapReduce program. So after that, see, can you please tell me how many of the people they can written Java? So how many of the people out of 100%, only 25% to 30% only they can able to write a Java code or .NET code, all these things. But everyone knows about how to write a queries. Am I right or not? How to know how to write a queries, right? So in 2008 year, Facebook was introduced one component, one Hadoop ecosystem, call it as Hive. What is this Hive? You can write a queries, SQL kind of queries also you can write in Hive, and you can process structured data and semi-structured data by using Hive. So the backend should be, suppose for this MapReduce program, we have a mapper and a reducer phase. In this Hive also the same kind of things. You can write a queries, but once you can execute this queries, the backend should be map reducer only. The backend should be map reducer only. Okay. So the same year in 2008 year, we have one more component introduced by Yahoo, that is called it as Pig. This is also one of the Hadoop ecosystem. Okay. In the same year, in 2008 year, okay, one more component that is called it as Cloudera. This is not a technology, this is a distribution. What is distribution? I will give one example for a distribution. Suppose for example, before Microsoft, suppose for example, you want to install Word, Excel sheets, WordPad, all these things. Suppose if before Microsoft, each and every component you can download or install individually. Yes or no? But once Microsoft comes into the picture, all components, I mean to say Excel sheets and WordPad, all these are coming under in one single package. That is nothing but Microsoft. Microsoft is providing all these components. Am I right or not? You no need to install each and every component individually. Yes or no? All components are available in Microsoft. Okay, Microsoft Office. Am I right or not? The same thing The same thing, you no need to install Hadoop, you no need to install I mean to say MapReduce, you no need to install Hive, you no need to install Pig. All these ecosystems you no need to install by manually. All these components are provided by distribution, call it as Cloudera distribution. In this Cloudera distribution, what they are saying, boss, just you can pay amount or pay money, we will provide a cluster, we will provide a services, we will provide Hadoop services, we will provide one cluster. Again, what is cluster? Cluster, it is nothing but number of nodes. Number of nodes are configured into one, connected into one single network, that is called it as cluster. The same thing, see here, this is, so here this is your Cloudera distribution. See, this is Cloudera distribution. You no need to install any Hadoop ecosystem. See, simply you can check here whether all components are available or not. See, see here I can mention Hive. It will enter into the Hive. See, the same thing. Next I can give Pig. I can give Pig. Suppose I can give HBase. I can give HBase shell. So you no need to install anything, and also I can give spark hyphen shell. See, it is entered into pig grunt shell, pig grunt shell, and also HBase also enter into HBase shell, and this is also enter into spark shell. See, it will enter into Hive. You no need to install, or you no need to download this Hive, and you no need to configure this. Everything is available in Cloudera. See, this is enter into the pig grunt shell, and the next one is HBase is coming, and this is also spark shell. Okay, so by using Cloudera distribution, you no need to install components individually. All components and cluster they can provide. Just what you need to do, you can pay amount, you can pay money to Cloudera distribution, and they will provide a cluster and Hadoop ecosystems. Up to this point, any doubts, or can you please ask me? Srini and Rahul, guys, are you there?
Yeah, we are there.
Please go ahead.
So you're saying all comes as a package in the Cloudera, and have the Cloudera distribution comes as Hadoop ecosystem.
Exactly, yes. Yeah, okay. So now the next one is, shall I go ahead? Shall I move on to next concept?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
thank you. Yeah, thank you, Rahul. Thank you. So now the next one is Hadoop. It depends on four V's. Four V's. What are these four V's? First one is volume. Second one is velocity. Next one is variety, and the next one is veracity. Okay, so what is volume? So all these things, all this volume, velocity, variety, and veracity, all this I can correlate with your current project, current real-time scenario project. Can you please tell me? I will give one example. Suppose you guys are working in TCS company. For example, you guys are working in TCS company. or Infosys company. Your new client is Walmart. Your new client is Walmart. Walmart from past 15 years to 20 years, the Walmart is available. But the new client is Walmart for TCS company. But initially they didn't give all 20 years of data to process. They don't give all 20 years of data at a time. What they need to give, the size of data, volume, it is nothing but size of data. Initially they need to check how you guys are working on the data, how you guys are processing the data, uh, how you guys are writing the code, and all these things they need to check. So initially they will provide the data size is, suppose for example, 1 terabyte. 1 terabyte, that is the size of the data, that is nothing but volume of data. Okay, or 2 terabytes or 3 terabytes. That is, see, this is for example. For example, the next one is velocity. What is velocity? This 1 terabyte of data, it is equal to either 6 months data or 9 months data or 10, 12 months data. That is nothing but 1 year data. So this 1 terabyte data is equal to 6 months data or 9 months data or 1 year data. Now the next one is variety. What is variety? Already we have discussed whether it is a structured format or unstructured format or semi-structured format. See, all these details, when you can ask to client, when you can ask to client all these details, so how much volume of data we need to process, this volume of data is equal to how many months of data, and also whether we need to process structured data, semi-structured data, or unstructured data. How they know the first step is requirement gatherings. Requirement gathering, right? Requirement gatherings, this is the first step for every project. Requirement gatherings. So daily we have a call with on-site folks daily. Suppose for example in our time 7:30 to 8:30 or 8:30 to 9:30, daily we have a scrum call. In that call, initially we need to discuss about requirement gatherings. In that requirement gatherings, you need to ask these type of questions. Boss, how much data we need to process? This data is equal to 6 months data or 12 months data or 1 year data. So we need to process what type of data, that is nothing but what is the variety of data, that is nothing but it is a structured data or unstructured data or semi-structured data. These things you need to ask to client. So once they can provide all these details, after that what they have provided, they can provide one document that is called it as STM. It is nothing but source to target mapping sheet. Source to target mapping sheet. Based on this source to mapping target sheet only, you need to develop the code. So volume, velocity, and variety, everything is completed. Now once requirement gatherings are completed, once the project is signed off, you need to write a code, right? So what is veracity? Veracity, it is nothing but uncertainty of data. What is uncertainty? Suppose for example, client will provide 10 source tables. Out of this 10 source tables, one table is employee table. The employee table schema is ID, comma, name, comma, department ID, comma, salary. Suppose you want to check all these details. First you want to check the name. Suppose you want to select distinct name from employee table. So here what are the names? It is nothing but Naresh, Suresh, Durga, Surya, Pavan, Murthy. These are the names, for example. Okay, but but you have identified this type of names, but the name should not be like this. Yes or no? This is called it as uncertainty of data. What you need to do once you have identified this type of junk data available in your employee table, what you need to do immediately you will inform to your team lead or your manager, boss, I have identified some uncertainty of data in employee table. What I need to do immediately, your manager or team lead will send an email to client. This is what we have observed. Okay, once you got a confirmation from client, then only you need to start a write coding. You need to start write coding. So how they can, how you need to eliminate these records, these names, you need to filter it out. You need to filter out these records at the time of processing the data. At the time of processing the data, we need to filter it out. Then only you need to, I don't want these records. So how you can do filter it out? The name should be start with any special character. You need to drop that records. I don't want those records. Okay, up to this point, any doubts or anything, can you please ask me?
One question I had is about uh, Hive, Pig,
Mm-hmm.
Spark Shell, HBase.
Mm-hmm.
So, can you just a little bit give at least a one-liner what each does? Like say for processing, you said the map reduce, right? So
Mm-hmm.
when you say the processing, does it mean like it reads it and process it based on some set of rules or something like that, and then uh,
Yeah. Yes. I will tell you. No problem. See, I will give one example by using Scoop, Hive, and Spark. In this workshop, I need to give one example of by using Scoop, Hive, and Spark. Before that, why we can use Pig, why we can use Hive, why we can use HBase, why we can use Spark. That is what you are asking, right? So
yeah.
all these things, Pig, Hive, HBase, and Spark. Pig, Hive, Spark, we need to use for processing the data. For processing the data. So how we can process the data by using Pig? We can process structured format and unstructured format. Okay. So by using
Map reduce also does the same thing, right? Or different?
uh, wait, I will tell you. So first of all, by using Pig, we can process structured data and unstructured data. Okay. By using Hive, we can process structured data and semi-structured data. Semi-structured data. But by using Hive, by using MapReduce, you can process structured data and semi-structured data. Okay. Now, by using Spark, you can process structured data, unstructured data, semi-structured data, and also streaming data. See here, the basic difference is the way of syntax, the way of processing the data, the way of written the code, it is different. Suppose, for example, in your MapReduce program, you need to write a Java code or .NET code. Okay, so how we can implement this MapReduce code? We have three phases are there: mapper phase, reducer phase, and sort and shuffle phase. Okay, sort and shuffle phase. For every data, these three phases are available. But sort and shuffle phase will be taken care by Hadoop framework. You no need to write any business logic. But for mapper and reducer, you need to write a business logic. You need to write a business logic to process the data. here you need to write. So here we have a transformations. How we can do the transformation? Directly we can't write select star from table name, or select count of star table name, or select only few fields id comma name from the table name. So directly we can't execute that type of queries. How we can do? By using load command, by using I mean to say for each, by using dump, okay, by using store, by using, see here also we can use our order by, filter by, but the way of processing it is different than queries. So in hive it's a SQL queries. Whatever the SQL queries you have written in the SQL, the same type of SQL queries we have written in hive also. Select star from table name. Suppose, see here, show databases. Okay, use Surya 5. Okay, show tables. Select a star from employee. There is no employee table. Okay. uh, okay, I will do one thing. Use Surya 4. See, so this type of whatever the queries we have written in SQL, the same type of queries we can use in, we can execute those queries in hive also. Okay, only for purpose of hive is, the purpose of hive is analytics. It is nothing but, can you please tell me in SQL what type of data we can process online transactional processing data? That is nothing but whatever the transaction you have made, that transaction data we can store it in the MySQL. Yes or no? But here we need to analyze the data. For example, Flipkart, the data should be stored in MySQL. What you need to do, you need to import that MySQL data into your Hadoop world. Then on top of it, you need to create hive tables. On top of that, you need to perform apply a transformations, and again you need to create one final table. By using this table in 2009, and you need to compare 2018 sales and 2019 year sales, and also what are the top 500 topmost 500 customers. All this data you need to identify by using Tableau or Spotify. You need to design, you need to create a dashboards. That is nothing but you need to create a reports. You need to create a reports. This is basically it's a OLAP. This is OLAP, that is online analytical processing. This is because only for analyze the data. So coming to Spark, what is the Spark? Here we can create RDDs, data frames. Okay, and also here in this RDDs we can use transformations, actions. Okay, so by use, see, there are different the way of code it is different. And we can process what type of data by using all these Hadoop ecosystems, all these ecosystems. By using MapReduce we can process structured data and semi-structured data by using pig. So what is the difference? So MapReduce also doing the same and Hive also doing the same. But in MapReduce, you need to write a Java code. But while coming to Hive, you no need to write any Java code. Just you can write Hive queries. That is what I'm saying previously. Everyone knows out of 100%, 80 to 90% people know how to write a SQL queries, all these things. But only 20 to 30% people are know the how to write a Java code. So that is very much bit difficult to I mean to say write a Java code. So that's why Hive is Facebook is introduced this Hive, but the backend should be a map reducer. Suppose, for example, in Hive, select star from employee. Here you have one question. Boss, here I have select star from employee, but there is no mapper and there is no reducer. How I can identify mapper phase will come and mapper reducer phase will start? So here just you need to, whenever you need to apply a aggregate functions, whenever you can use an aggregate functions, then only the mapper and reducer phase will comes into the picture. Suppose, for example, here I can use select count of star from employee. So count is an aggregate function, right? So see, so now here you need to check how many number of mappers and how many number of reducers are there for this job, for this particular job. Okay. So this is a tracking URL. This is the tracking URL. We call it as resource manager link. By using resource manager link, you can identify. Hmm, 1 minute, guys. Set hive dot execution dot engine equal to mr. Okay. See, how many number of mappers and how many number of reducer for this job, you can able to check here. One mapper and one reducer. Okay. See, so initially the mapper phase is 0% and the reducer is 0%. Okay, after that, once the mapper phase is completed 100%, then only reducer phase will start. Reducer phase, see here 100% is completed. Then now reducer also, the next step is reducer also will complete 100%. Then only it will give the result. Whenever you can apply aggregate functions, whenever you can apply any aggregated functions, then only map reduce will comes into the picture. Well, okay, see, now reducer also completed 100%. So where you can check this, see, this is your tracking URL, this is your resource manager URL. See, copy and you can paste it here. So here your job ID, so based on your job ID, so this is your application, so this is your application ID. So this application, for how many mappers and how many reducers, see, this is your query, right? Select a count of star from employee, this is your query. So in this query, how many number of mappers and how many number of reducers, all are completed successfully or not successfully. So here you, if the job got failed, for suppose the job is failed, so here you need to check the, click here for the full log, and here you need to check what is the, why your job got failed. This is the logs, you need to check the resource manager link. Okay, is it clear, Srini, or still you have any doubts?
So in this phase, what is the mapper? What is the reducer? When we say select count star from employee, right?
Yes, exactly. So, no, no, can you please come again?
I mean, how do I visualize of these
Mm,
query? What is a
mm.
mapper? What is a reducer?
Meaning what is the mapper and what is the reducer?
Because
No,
these two, when you show the previous one, it was showing the mapper
no.
and the reduce one, correct? The task type.
Yes. Yes.
So what exactly it means? So if I just look at select count star from, which is an aggregate function, in the SQL era. I mean, how do I correlate? How do I visualize of this query? This is a mapper function. This is a reducer function. So reducer is something like, it will go through each row and then count it and then gives the result. And what is, because there is no mapping in this, right? So
Yes.
meaning source to target, there is no, I mean, nothing can be mapped from source to target because just you're using a count star.
Exactly. So how it is doing this is, it is very simple. So what is reducer? Reducer, it is nothing but, for reducer, how it will works, mapper and reducer, how it will work. I will give one simple example so that you can able to know it. Okay. Suppose for example, for every program, or if you want to process any data, mapper phase, sort and shuffle, and reducer phase. These three are there. Yes or no? So we need to write a code for mapper phase and reducer phase. So here how it is doing. So first what it is doing is, see, in this data there is no mapper. Yes, exactly. So 1 minute. I cannot. So here I can. Okay. Suppose for example, your data is, for example, in your text file, what is exactly reducer, right? That is what you are asking. Okay. So suppose for example, hi, hi, this is Surya. Suppose this is your data, for example. Suppose for example, this is your data. Okay. So this data initially, it is based on the record reader in your map reduce program. This should be converted into key comma value pair, key comma value pair. Okay, in map reduce program. So after that, how it will, this is the input of the mapper phase. This is the input for the mapper phase. And what is the output? The output should be each and, so based on the delimiter, so based on the delimiter, it was divide the data. Okay. So now hi comma 1, next one is this comma 1, and is comma 1. Okay. So this comma 1, and is comma 1, and Surya comma 1. This is how the data should be divided in the key comma value pair. And after that, whatever the mapper output, that should be input for sort and shuffle phase, so this is the input, and your output should be like this: hi comma 1, and this comma 1 comma 1, because two times this is coming, this one time and second time. And the next one is here is comma 1 comma 1, because is also two times it is there. Next one is Surya. Next one is Surya comma 1. Okay. This is the output for sort and shuffle. And this output is input for the reducer. So here how the output should be: hi comma 1, and this comma 1 plus 1, because here 1 comma 1, here we need to write a one I mean to say one business logic. You need to count these numbers, these values. So what is your output here? 2, right? And also is comma 2, and also Surya comma 1. This is your output. In the reducer, what happened exactly? In the reducer, it will aggregate the results, it will aggregate the values, right? The same way here also, there is no, I mean to say, in hive, huh? Suppose for example, here how many number of the, this is treated as one line, this is treated as one line, this is treated as one line. 1 plus 1 2, 2 plus 1 3, 3 plus 1 4. This is how we can reduce. Here the reducer will works in hive. 1 plus 1 2, 2 plus 1 3, 3 plus 1 4. Likewise, the reducer operation will works in Hive. Is it clear? Srini, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. I mean, I'm not fully understood, but at least I got a glimpse of what you're saying.
Yeah. So what exactly you didn't understand? Can you please tell me?
Yeah, so I mean, I understood that it is converting into key value pairs and aggregating. But if you
Exactly.
look at the values here, right, Surya Murthy, Chandra Murthy, and
Yeah.
Murthy is a number of times, almost 15 times it got repeated.
No. See,
Right?
see, see, see. We are not performing any count of name, count of this thing, right?
Oh yeah,
Just we
because
are
we are doing
count
select.
count of star. Count of star. It is nothing but based on the number of records you have to done the reducer. Reducer will apply based on the number of records. Am I right or not? So
Yeah.
how many number of records? Based on that, each record we can treat it as one line. One line. This is one line. This is one line. 1 + 1 2, 2 + 1 3. That is how we can one organization which is one preferred. Hi Pavan sir, for learning Spark, do we need Scala? 1 minute. Do we need Scala? Scala also. Scala. It is okay. Scala or Java or Python, anyone is okay. But in this training, I can give the training for Scala also. Spark with Scala. Okay. See, most of the in organizations, most of the people are using Spark with Scala. Less people are, or less number of companies are using Spark with Java and Spark with Python, but most of the people are using Spark with Scala only, because we can go for Python for whenever you can use a data science or any prediction algorithms, or you can use, then you can go for Spark. But most of the people, the Spark also, initially the Spark code is developed by using Scala only. Scala is one of the programming language like Java, like Java. Yeah. Now Srini, coming to your point, so is it clear or it is not? See, suppose for example, what is our names? Suppose for example, DESC employee, right? So what is here? First name, last name, right? So suppose for example, here we can give select count of last name. Just it will give the count, how many number of last names are available. Okay, how many number of last names are available from employee. So whether it is one, see here all are Murthy. Suppose first name, right, we have given. So how many names are there? 15 names are there. This is treated as, this is Surya is treated as one. This is one. This is one. So 1 + 1 2, 2 + 1 3, 3 + 1 4. That is how it will give the result 15 only. It will give the result 15 only. We'll see.
So okay. So meanwhile,
Hmm.
do I think what should we call these, like Hive, Pig? I mean, I know that these are all not programming languages. Should we say the query language, or what should we say?
Hive is a query language. HQL is a Hive query language. Pig is a, see, all these we call it as Hadoop ecosystems. Hadoop ecosystems, Scoop, Hive, Pig, MapReduce, Spark, all these things we call it as Hadoop ecosystems. Okay, Hadoop
Ecosystem,
ecosystems.
you mean
Yeah,
the part of Hadoop?
yes, it is part of Hadoop only. See here, see here, I can give select last name comma. Suppose I can give select first name. Suppose select first name, comma, count of first name. Okay, sorry. Group by first name. So in this case, you can clearly observe that how many number of Suryas, how many number of Naresh, how many number of Mahesh, you can able to get it. See here, Surya how many times coming? 1, 2, and 3. Three times Surya is available. Yes or no? So in our case, suppose for example, once this mapper and reducer, suppose I can copy this. So here Surya one time, Surya second time, and Surya third time. So here the reducer will Surya comma 1 comma 1 comma 1. Okay. So here how many times Surya it is available? 3 times. So the reducer will Surya comma 3. So this Surya we can call it as select first name comma count of first name, right? Surya comma 3. And now Chandra. Chandra how many times coming? Only 1 time. So the next one is Chandra comma 1. This is how the result will give. See, is it clear?
Okay.
Okay. So still you
Uh,
have any doubt?
yeah. So this is kind of a way where the data is a have a particular delimiter. Here in this case, maybe a tab or a space or something like that. But if it is a combination of, I mean, unstructured or semi-structured data, how that works? So basically, the map reduce and sort and shuffle.
See. So for example, if you have a XML data, suppose for example you have a XML data. Okay. So in this XML data, first you want to retrieve the data from the XML data. So here we have some functions are there. That is nothing but xpath underscore string. Sorry. So here how we can retrieve the data. Suppose for example, I will give the simple data. I can show it 1 minute. ls hyphen lrt grep dot xml. So I have I want a sample xml cat sample dot xml. So so 1 minute. This is also a 1 minute. I can give cat sample 2003.xml. So this is my XML data, for example. Okay, this is simple XML. This is simple XML. Okay, so first, how we can process this XML data? For example, so first you can retrieve this name field and city field from the XML data. How you can do this? By using, first you want to load this data into one table. That is call it as one table. You have load the data for one example. So how we can do this? By using create table sample underscore XML. Here, just I want to give data string. Data string. And here you want to load this data. You want to load this data. How we can load the data? Load data local in path. You want to mention the path of the file, and you can into table sample underscore XML. So this is how you need to load the data. Once you can load the data, you want to retrieve it. How to retrieve it? Again, you want to create a table. Create table sample underscore XML underscore 1. Here you need to give name string, comma, city string. Okay. Now what you need to do by using insert into table sample underscore XML, select xpath underscore string of data, comma, you need to retrieve rec by name. Okay, and also comma xpath underscore string data, comma rec by city. So in this table you can get a name field separately. You can retrieve the data. Name is separately, and initially this is not a tab separated or any comma separated values. What you have to do, you need to do the separate the values. You can separate from the XML data by using XPath string. Suppose this is a JSON. Suppose this is JSON. What is the functions we need to use? Get underscore JSON underscore object, or lateral view JSON underscore tuple. We have two options to retrieve the data from the JSON data. Okay, so from that JSON data you can retrieve your data. That should be, you can store it into or insert into another table that is in the form of a structured format. Then you can apply your select count of star or any of the transformations you need to apply after that. Is it clear, Srini, or still you have any doubts?
Yeah, I think I'm clear. Just last question. I mean, I don't need full details because you are also running out of time. So let's say it is a combination of JSON,
Yeah, tell me.
text, XML. So how that works? So if it is so complicated, so it also does the similar way. So to find out a unique way of
Yeah.
identifying the records and all those stuff.
Yeah. See, whenever either the data should be is in the form of JSON or it is in the form of XML. That's it. The combination of XML and JSON, it is not possible, right? Either you can store the data into XML or the data can be stored in JSON. Suppose, for example, you want to process the data both XML and JSON. So suppose you have a sample.xml and you have a sample.json. This sample.json, you can retrieve the data from that by using these functions, and you can place it into one table. And the XML data also you can retrieve and you can place it into another table. Next, on top of it, you can apply a joins or anything based on your requirement. Then you can go ahead and you can return the queries. That's it. Okay.
Okay. And if it is some kind of images, also there is some way, right? Something like that.
Yes. Unstructured data. I will tell you later. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So here I got one question from Sagar, Vidya Sagar. Hi Pavan, this is Sagar. How is the job market for Scala and Spark? Will it replaced by any cloud technology like BigQuery, etc. in future? Okay. See, here I want to tell you one thing, that is nothing but previously we are using on-premise clusters. On-premise cluster. What is on-premise cluster? We have a edge node. In that edge node, suppose for example, you have by that cluster, suppose for example, 100 millions. in that 100 millions, if you are use it or not, suppose they have given 1000 terabytes of storage. Suppose if you are given, if you are working on that, or if you are using that cluster or not, definitely you need to pay the amount. But in case of cloud technologies, why everyone is moving, everyone is migrating from on-premise cluster to cloud? Why they are migrating is, suppose for example, out of 1000 terabytes of data, they have given Google is giving GCP. You are saying that BigQuery. BigQuery is coming under GCP. GCP it is nothing but Google Cloud Platform. In this Google Cloud Platform, out of 1000 terabytes of data, you have to store only 500 terabytes of data. Only for that 500 terabytes of data, only for that storage, you need to pay it. No need to pay the remaining 500 terabytes of data. Tomorrow, you can use 100 terabytes of data. You can store. For that, total 600 terabytes of data, you need to pay it. That's it. No need to pay the remaining 400. How much storage you can use, for that storage only you need to pay amount. Okay, that is the first thing. The second thing is how it will work Spark and Scala in case of cloud technologies. Here we need to write. So here we need to use big queries. Instead of using Hive queries, here we need to use a big queries. The data should be available in not in Hive tables. Here the data should be available in big tables. Okay, that is the first thing. How we can process the data? Here we need to write here the scheduler is airflow. So have you heard Woozy is a one of the scheduler for Hadoop. But in case of cloud technology like GCP, we can use airflow is a scheduler. How we can write this? Here we have a operators are there, Spark operator. Suppose if you want to, you can develop your code using Spark, so that you can use a Spark operators. You need to develop DAGs. In the DAGs, you need to write your Spark code, your Hive code. You have a Spark operators, you have a Python operators. By using this operators, you have a BigQuery operators. By using this operators, you can write a query, you can write the code, and you can execute your DAGs and everything. You can schedule your DAGs, and you can schedule your everything in Airflow. This is how we can I mean to say implement the code by using any cloud technology. Yes, by using Spark and Scala, also by using cloud technologies, we can implement our code. Your doubt is clear, Vidyasagar? Vidyasagar, are you there? Yes. Okay. So shall I continue, everyone, or still you have any doubts?
Uh, so, and with respect to the AWS and the cloud that you are referring, both are different, right? I mean, I do not have any
Exactly.
understanding, but I'm just asking the question.
What you are not understanding? Can you please tell me?
No, no. I mean, I do not have the understanding of the AWS, but since
No.
we were talking about the cloud, I was just trying to correlate
Huh.
with the question that others
No,
are asking.
no. So I have correlated the question with the on-premise cluster with GCP.
Okay.
GCP is the nowadays one of the cloud technologies, cloud. Okay, like AWS, Azure. This is also GCP. Nowadays, everyone is migrating into this. By using GCP, we can process petabytes of data in milliseconds. In milliseconds, we can process petabytes of data. That's why everyone is moving. That's why everyone is migrating into GCP nowadays. So for next year, all the projects, almost all projects, 50% of the projects are migrating into GCP. Now, almost we are working on this GCP from past 2.5 years from GCP. Okay, and
Oh,
one more, and one, yeah. Is it clear?
yeah, sure.
Okay. So shall I continue?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, uh, so first I want to explain about today. I can explain about scoop, Hive, and Spark, how it will work. Okay, so first I want to give brief explanation about this example. Suppose for example, suppose for example, okay, so my client data is available in MySQL. This is my client data. Okay, so this client data, first I want to import it from my client place to my Hadoop place, Hadoop world, my Hadoop world, my Hadoop world. Okay, so from MySQL to, I want to import this data from MySQL to Hadoop world. So here, what is the, how I can import the data? First of all, by using scoop. By using scoop. What is scoop? Scoop full form is, scoop full form is SQL plus Hadoop. SQL plus Hadoop. This is scoop. It is nothing but SQL plus Hadoop. Here, both the combination of SQL and Hadoop. So first of all, here I want to import the data from MySQL to Hadoop world. How to import the data? How to import the data? How we can write scoop import statements? Scoop import statement. See, for every scoop import, we have few arguments are there. We need to pass few arguments. The first one is connection URL hyphen hyphen connect. See, if the people are having any Java knowledge, for example Java knowledge, we need to use for MySQL JDBC connection URL is JDBC colon MySQL colon slash slash localhost and port number. Suppose for example here I need to mention not localhost, I will mention IP address. I can mention IP address, and port. Okay, so the next one is your MySQL. For every MySQL, if you want to connect to MySQL, suppose for example I need to connect to MySQL, I need to know the username of the MySQL. Okay, username. And also the next one is hyphen hyphen password, hyphen hyphen password. And the next one is, what is the table name? Suppose for example I have created one database Surya 5. In that database I want to, one table is there, employee table. That employee table I want to import it. That employee table I want to import it. So that first I want to mention the table name. And the next one is here the number of mappers. The number of mappers you need to include either 1, 2, 3 or 4. And the next one is hyphen hyphen target directory, hyphen hyphen target directory. So what is this target directory? Target directory, it is nothing but your HDFS directory, your HDFS directory. Okay, so this is how we need to mention all these parameters: connect hyphen hyphen connect hyphen hyphen username hyphen hyphen password hyphen hyphen table hyphen m number of mappers. These things, these arguments we need to pass at the time of scoop import, at the time of scoop import. So first the first step is I want to connect MySQL. Under that I need to create a database. Under that I need to create a table. Under that I need to insert the values. Then I will start this scoop import. Then I will start scoop import. Okay, so up to this point, any doubts in this my scoop import?
So this is limited to only the MySQL. Let's say we
No,
have the Oracle or
no.
something different.
Yes, anything. See, suppose for example, if you want to import the data from Teradata, if you want to import the data from Netezza, if you want to import the data from Vertica, suppose, see, for example, the connection URL is different. See, suppose for example, Netezza connection URL, Netezza connection URL. See, it will give connection strings JDBC column connection strings. See here, JDBC net is a main and 5490. This is the and username and password. Okay, so this is the net is a connection string. Suppose for example, if you want a Teradata connection URL. Okay, suppose if you give the Teradata connection URL, so here JDBC colon Teradata. See, JDBC colon Teradata. Based on your database, you need to change it, the connection string, Is it clear?
So this is
Hello?
limited only to the database, right? Like
Exactly. So that's why Scoop. Scoop, it is nothing but SQL plus Hadoop. SQL, it is nothing but it is limited to database only, not for any files or anything. Okay.
okay.
Yeah. So, first I want to connect this Scoop. So first I want to connect this MySQL. So how to connect the MySQL? MySQL hyphen u. The username is here root hyphen p password. Sorry. Not a password. Hyphen p Cloudera. Sorry. 2 times c I have here. Okay. See, MySQL hyphen u root hyphen p Cloudera. That is nothing but username is root, password is Cloudera. So first I want to create one database here. What is my database? Create database Pavan 10. Create a database. First of all, I have created Pavan 10. After that, what I need to do, I want to create a table. How to create a table? Show use Pavan 10. Use Pavan 10. Okay. So here, so next one, I have a data. 1 minute. One minute, guys. It is open. Okay. So I have a So in this employee table, I am providing employee ID, first name, last name, age, and join date and salary. Okay. This is what my table name. Okay. Enter. Now, after that, I want to insert the data. In this insert the data, what are the names? Employee ID, first name, last name, and age, join date, and salary. Okay. I want to insert all these 15 lines. 15 lines I want to insert. 15 rows I want to insert. Okay. Now select star from employee. See how many records are there? 15 records are there. Yes or no? 15 records are there. Now the next operation is scoop import. In this scoop import, what I need to do? I want to import this is employee data. Where exactly this employee data is available? Under Pavan 10 database. Under Pavan 10 database, this data I want to import it from MySQL to that is nothing but not MySQL. That is from client place, client location to my location. That is nothing but my Hadoop world. So how can I do this? 1 minute. I can write a scoop import command. So for scoop import, what are the parameters we have? First one is for every scoop import, first we need to write a scoop import is common. For scoop import is common. Okay, scoop import is common. Now, next one is what is the next one? Connection URL. You need to provide connection URL. Okay, so hyphen connect, connect. You need to give MySQL connection URL, JDBC colon MySQL colon // here the IP address. The IP address is localhost. But in our real-time scenario, this connection URL, username, password, table name, database, everything will provide by client. Everything will provide by client. Okay. So here the port number, the default port number is 3306. This port number also client will provide. Now tell me, what is my database name? What is my database name? I have created Pavan 10. Pavan 10. So next one is, what is the next argument? Username, password, and table. Username, password, and table. Here my username is hyphen username root. Why? Because here already we have given at the time of MySQL connection. See, what is my username? Username is root. And what is my password? Password is Cloudera. So I want to give hyphen password Cloudera. Hyphen password Cloudera. Now, in this Pavan 10 database, what is my table name? What is my table name? Hyphen table. Hyphen table. My table name is employee. My table name is employee. Now, number of mappers. Number of mappers I can give hyphen M2. Number of mappers I can give 2. And also the next one is hyphen target directory. Hyphen target dir. This is target dir, that is equal to target dir equal to, suppose for example, Hadoop workshop 2806. Okay, so here in this scoop import hyphen connect, first we need to provide connection URL. In the connection URL is differ for database to database, and here we need to mention the database name and username and password, and whatever the table name we have created, the table name we need to provide, and a number of mappers. This number of mappers, so only here we are not performing any aggregate functions. So directly whatever the data it is available in client place, all data we need to import from MySQL to, suppose for example in that table 15 records are there, all 15 records we need to import from MySQL to our HDFS. No need to drop any record. So that's why we need to use mapper face only, that is number of mappers we need to provide. Okay, and also target directory in Hadoop, where exactly your data got imported. In this directory I want to import it. Now I can run this. So any doubts here?
Sir, what is this to signify here, the mapper to? Because you're just mapping from table employee to Hadoop workshop 2806 is also a table or something different?
806. What is 806?
2806. That, yeah.
This is your target directory. This directory was created on top of HDFS. I will show you where exactly this Hadoop workshop 2806 got created. Okay, I will show you. No problem. So here,
what is the to signify?
Number of mappers to. This number of mappers to is signified because of your performance increase. If you want to increase your performance, you need to give the number of mappers should be like 10 mappers or 15 mappers, like that. Suppose your data is 100 GB. Okay, your data is 100 GB and you can give number of mappers only 5. This 100 GB data was divided and it can be placed into 5 number of mapper files. It will take more time, right? 100 GB data, it will read it and it can place it into 5 number of mapper files. It will take a huge time. So that's why you need to mention, suppose -m 20 or 30. Instead of giving 5 mappers, you can give 50 mappers. Your improvement, your performance is your performance is high, and you can import the data from one place to another place. It will take a less time. It will take less time because of improve your performance. You can give number of mappers. You can give number of mappers. Suppose sometimes your scoop job got failed. Your scoop job got failed because your data is 1 terabytes. You can mention in your scoop import command, you have mentioned the number of mappers should be 2 or 3. It is failed because of number of mappers. At that time, this is the important interview question. Suppose my scoop job got failed. How to check where exactly you need to check and how to solve that solution. At that time, you need to check your number of mappers and your data. Then you need to increase your number of mappers. Then only you can easily solve your issue. You can solve your issue. Is it clear?
Okay. So when we say the mapper, I can just think of the key value pairs. Is that correct?
See, here it is not a key comma
Oh, sorry.
value pair.
Okay.
It's not a key comma value pair. This is here your data. Completely based on your data, you can increase your mappers. That's it. Here it is not a concept of number of key comma value. It is not like that. So here it is based on your data only. You can increase your number of mappers based on your data. You need to mention your number of mappers. Suppose your scoop job failed. At that time, you need to mention your number of mappers. Otherwise, your target directory or your suppose one person is see, I mean to say, most of the things scoop job got failed because of number of mappers only. Because data is increasing, you are using number of mappers are very less. Because of that only, your scoop job got failed. Your scoop job got failed. Okay, is it clear?
So in this scenario, what exactly the mapper does?
I will tell you. I will tell you. See, here you have mentioned how many number of mappers here? Two number of mappers. Yes or no? You have mentioned two mappers, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Once the scoop job is completed, why we have mentioned this number of why this m is 2? What happened? We'll see. 1 minute. So initially your job got failed. Why? Can you please tell me why your job is failed? Can you please read out this?
No primary key, is it?
Your table has no primary key. At the time of table creation, see here, DESC employee. So your table doesn't have any primary key at the time of table creation. Yes or no? So if your table doesn't have any primary key, you can mention the number of mappers. You can mention the number of mappers should be only one. Your mappers number of mappers should be only one. So now see, we'll see what happened. See here, if you observe clearly, see, only mapper is completed. There is no reducer. Yes or no? In this scoop, there is no reducer phase, only mapper phase, only mapper phase. See now we'll see your question is, what is your target directory? Can you please tell me what is your target directory?
Hadoop.
Slash Hadoop workshop 2806. Okay. So how we can see the data? See Hadoop fs-l. These are the Hadoop commands. These are the Hadoop commands. We can see the data in particular directory. This is Hadoop workshop 2806. See, what is your number of mappers here? What is your, how many number of mappers we have? I have mentioned at the time of scoop import, only one mapper. Yes or no? So here, how many, what is this part M? This is the part M file. Part M file, it is nothing but it was a mapper file. It was a mapper file. In this mapper file, all your 15 records got inserted or imported. See, Hadoop-ls slash part-m00. All 15 records are available in one single mapper. Suppose, for example, you have mentioned 3 mappers. Suppose you have 1 minute, I will tell you. Suppose if this is your data. In this data, 15 records are there. In this 15 records, at the time of scoop import, you have mentioned only one single mapper. That entire 15 records are available in one single mapper. Suppose, for example, you have mentioned 3 number of mappers at the time of scoop import. Your data got distributed. Your data got distributed, and it will create 3 files, 3 part-time files. In this first part-time, 5 records are available, and the next part-time file, another 5 records are available. In the next part-time file, another 5 records are available. This 15 records got distributed into 3 part-time files. That is nothing but 3 part-time files. It is nothing but a mapper. It was mapper should be distributed the data into multiple part-time files. The mapper should be distributed whatever the source data is available. Suppose here you can give 100 GB of data. Your source data is 100 GB, and you can mention at the time of scoop job creation, you can give the number of mappers are 50. This 100 GB was distributed the data into, all the data is available in 50 mapper files. 50 mapper files. Is it clear or any doubts?
Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, I have one doubt. My name is Guru.
Yeah. Hi, Guru. Yeah. Tell me.
Yeah, suppose you are telling your data size is 100 GB, right? So suppose if we record data, if we insert some records in MySQL, so in MySQL will show you, so this many records are inserted. But how can we get the file size? File size. So this many. So this table has this amount of file size. So how we can get that file size?
File size, it is nothing but, I didn't
So,
understand your.
yeah, currently you have inserted 15 records, right, in employee table.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
So similarly, my table has 1 lakh records. Okay.
Okay.
So suppose you are telling, so if my data is too much, I need to increase mapper count, right?
Yes.
So that file size, how can we get? So suppose we don't know the file size how much, but simply if we give mappers count more, means the job will be executed very fast. But how can we get a file size?
That is, we can see in the Hadoop architecture, we have one concept, call it as block size. We have one
Yeah.
concept that is called it as block size, right? So based on the
Yeah.
block size, you know block size, right? So
Yeah, block size.
default block size is 64 MB. Okay, based on this block size only, it will divide the number of files. So this is configurable. This is configurable. Block size is configurable. You no need to configure this. Just Hadoop admin guys are configure this into. We have some configuration files are there. Replicate. So we in this Hadoop we are mainly three things. The first one is replication factor, and the second one is block size, and the third one is heartbeat mechanism. All these things are there. We need to configure it. Who can configure all these details? Hadoop administrator will configure it. Okay, you can read the data. What is the block size? What is the replication factor? All these things you can able to check it. If you want to change the data, first you need to get a confirmation from the client. Boss, this is the data. So I need to increase my block size. Then only you need to raise a zero ticket. We have to raise a zero ticket. Boss, can you please increase this? So that the DevOps team will increase that your block size. Is it clear?
Yeah, clear. But you are telling as part of Hadoop terminology, but I'm telling in MySQL, because client will give a request to us, we need to load the data from scoop to HDFS. So, but by default, we don't know how much size we have in our MySQL table. So then how can we simply give mapper size without knowing the quantity of data which we have?
See, where exactly this file system in Hadoop only we have a file system. There is, see,
Yeah, yeah,
in SQL the data should be available in tables, right?
yeah,
The data
yeah,
is
yeah,
available in tables. There,
yeah.
so there you need to think about what is your table data. That is nothing but
Hmm.
what is how much the table size data, right? Suppose for
Yeah, yeah.
example, in your table size, suppose for example, see, I will tell you clearly, your MySQL table contains 1 lakh records. Okay. So
Yeah.
how at the time of scoop import, how you can think, so how many number of mappers I need to give, then only my job will fast. That is what you need to think. Yes or no? You no need to
Yeah,
think about your file system of MySQL and everything. You no need to think about it. Just you need to think what you need to think. I want to just what is your requirement? I want to import a data from MySQL to HDFS. So how to improve my performance? How to increase my performance? How to improve my performance? That's it, right? So the file
yeah,
system should be comes under Hadoop world. That is nothing but in HDFS world, these are the files. It was created, this part-time file, it is nothing but it is a one file. Suppose at the time of you can give the number of mappers is 15. The data was distributed and it was created 15 part-time files. All these 15 part-time files contains your 1 lakh records. Your 1 lakh records. So here you need to think about, yes, the number of mappers, how many number of mappers I need to give, the block size of the, so you have asked me, right? The size of the file, how it is created. It was created based on your block size. It was divide the data and it was create the files. Okay, you no need to think about, see, I mean to say the point of view of MySQL, just you need to check how many number of records are available in your MySQL property. Okay, so how we can import the data from MySQL to Hadoop world. At that time, how to improve your scoop job performance. That is what you need to think about it as a developer. As a developer, is it clear?
yeah. One more last clarification. So we can assume, so one mapper can create one HDFS file backend.
Exactly. So that is what I'm saying. So at the time of scoop import, we have
Hmm.
given number of mappers are one, right? So
Yeah.
here it was created only part-time file is one. So
Hmm.
why we have mentioned only the number of mappers is one, because my table doesn't have any primary key. My table have any primary key. If my table has primary key, I will tell you one more thing. So I want to create one more table. Okay, so DESC employee 1. Now my table has primary key. Okay, now what I need to do, I want to okay, so now select star from employee 1. So 15 records are available. This time I can use this is temp. Okay, this is temp. So I want to change my table name is 1, and here I can change the number of mappers are 3. Okay, we'll see what happened. Okay, so here Hadoop FS -ls scoop, sorry, not scoop, Hadoop workshop 2806 temp. See how many number of part-temp files got created this time, because at the time of scoop import, how many number of mappers we have mentioned? We have mentioned 3 mappers, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. So it was created how many number of part-temp files? It was created part-temp files, 3 part-temp files. Total how many number of records got retrieved? 15 records got retrieved. So we'll see each and every part-temp file, part hyphen m hyphen workshop 280 part hyphen m Hadoop FS hyphen L.
No, temp in.
Sorry. See how many records are available. So total 15 records in the first part-temp file. First 5 records are there. In the next part-temp file, see the next 5 records, and the remaining 5 records in Is it clear? Is it clear, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. So here why we are using number of mappers, it is nothing but it was distributed your data. You see, distributed your data as well as it was increase your performance as well. It will increase your performance as well. Okay. Now,
So there is no restriction giving the number of mappers. Let's say the records would have been 16, and if I would have given 3, so the
hmm,
first 5, the next 5, and next 6. That is how it
exactly.
divides. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yes.
And if I give instead of 3 mappers to 6 mappers, the number of time it creates this Hadoop file system with the part-time files is quicker than what it used to. Is it?
What can you please come again? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm asking, like, say, if instead of I give um, the mapper file size as 3 to 6 as an example, and there are 16 records, so the time it is taking now when I give the 6 mapper file is lesser than when I used to give the mapper size, the mapper
Obviously,
size
right?
is 3, right?
Obviously, right? Right. Obviously, see, based on data only, you need to see. So, how much time it will take? 73.595 seconds, right?
Yeah.
It was imported. So, the same data. So, the same data, if I give number of mappers are 6, suppose, for example, the same data, number of mappers are 6, it will temp 1.
But is it a good practice to give whatever that we think, which to improve the performance, or do we have any way of optimizing and know that, hey, this is the best number that I need to use to
No, no.
identify the number of
No, no,
mappers?
I can't tell you based on your data only. You need to mention your number of mappers. This is the number of mappers should be 50. Suppose you want to import the data 1 petabytes, 1 petabytes of data, for example. Suppose 1 terabytes of data you want to import from Netiza to this one. At that time, I can't tell you initially, boss, you can use 50 number of mappers you can use. That is, I can't tell you, right? Because that should be completely based on your data only. You need to improve, you need to increase your number of mappers. That's it. So that should be how we can check. Select count of star from table name. So there you need to check this number of records are there. Suppose 1 crore records are there. So for example, for 1 lakh records, you are using 50 number of mappers. The same 50 number of mappers are also you can use for 1 crore records also. It will take more time, or else your job got failed because of number of mappers, because the volume of data is high, right? This is the more chances. See, suppose if you instead of using 50 mappers, you can use 300 mappers, for example, so that it will import the data. It will import the data very fast from your database to your HDFS directory. So I can't tell you. So this is the best number of mappers. I can't tell you, because as a developer, you need to check your source data. Based on that only, you need to think how many number of mappers I want to give. That is what that is only one option we have. There is no other option. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then again, as it goes, so we again need to club all these part-time file to one M. I mean,
No, no,
how?
no, no, no need, no need, no need, no need. See, for small data, so previously it will take 73 seconds, because your data is very less, right? Your
Yeah.
data is your data is very less. Your mappers are increased more than that, so it will take time. So suppose for example, if you have a 1 lakh records, suppose if you have a 1 lakh records, at that time you need to give 3 mappers and 6 mappers. Then you can get the correct answer. Says here your data is very less, right? Your data is very less. You are giving number of mappers are very high. That is 6 mappers or 7 mappers. It I think I'm what is my I mean to say, exactly based on the data, you need to mention the number of, see, suppose for data is very less, you need to mention the number of mappers also very less. Your data is high, you need to increase your number of mappers. Your data is less, you are giving the number of mappers are, see, suppose your data is just only 2 records, you can give the 10 mappers. It will take, obviously it will take time, right? Based on the data only, you need to mention your number of mappers. That is the only thing you can improve your performance. Is it clear?
Yeah, but I just have one more question. So because just you said when we have just 2 records and the number of mappers are 10, how the data gets split? Um, because the records is less, the records are less compared to the number of mappers.
At that time only, suppose 2 records, 10 mappers, only it will create only 2 mappers only. It will not create a 10 mappers. Okay. Okay, at that time, how many number of records? 2 records. 2 records, you can mention 10 mappers. At that time, only 2 mappers got created. Only 2 mappers got created. So I have one question here. Vidya Sagar, as we are loading tables to Hadoop using Scoop, where does the schema store? Where does the schema store? Hadoop fs-ls. We have one path is there. 1 minute. Hadoop fs-ls underscore scoop. This 1 minute. Exact location, I need to check once.
Within that part-time files or somewhere else?
No, not within part-time files. Not within part-time files. In the part-time files, only two are created. One is part-time files, and the second one is whether the success file want to create. Whether if your scoop job is completed successfully, then it was created one success file, so that you can know whether this scoop job is okay, successfully completed. That's it. Okay, only 2 things. I need to check this once. Who asked this? Vijay Sagar. I need to check once. Okay, I will check you and I will tell you. Okay. So once your data is available in HDFS directory, what you need to do? Again, next is what you need to do. Next, you can go to your Hive tables. Hive tables, you need to create a Hive tables by using this HDFS path data. By using this HDFS path data, you can create, okay, you can create a tables. How I can create and how I can load the tables. So basically in Hive, we have total 2 types of tables. In Hive, we have total 2 types of tables. One is managed tables. and second one is external tables. Okay, so at the time of table creation, you need to mention location. So why we can go for managed tables? Managed tables are internal tables, Hive internal tables. Suppose for Suppose for example, if you want to delete this manager table, suppose if you want to delete this manager table, both if you drop this manager table, both table and data are deleted. Both data and table are deleted. These are where we can use. We can go for temp tables. Whenever we can go for whenever you can create a temp tables, at that time we can go for managed tables. And then when we can external tables is a final tables. Final table, suppose if you have delete this external table, then only table got deleted, but data is available on top of hdfs. I will tell you how to create a manager table. So here, what is the create table syntax for in MySQL? Create table name employee1, and you need to provide schema. So as you tell you what is the schema. So we have two methods to identify the schema. The first one is dot schema that was created in hdfs, that we need to check. The second one is by using scoop, I mean to say in MySQL. If you check this MySQL, here you can identify employee1. So you can check. So sometimes you got read permissions. 1 minute guys, 1 minute. So this is how we can get the schema. Based on this schema, I need to create. Based on this schema, I need to create, and I need to change my data types as well. In MySQL, the data type should be for string columns. It's a varchar. Okay, but it is not supported. Varchar, it is not supported in Hive. So what is the so here I want to copy this. Copy schema, and here I want to paste it. So wherever the varchar is available, here I want to mention string. Here I can give string. Okay. And the last name also I can give string. Okay. And this is joined at and salary int. Now tell me, if you clearly observe this HDFS data, what is the fields terminated by? See here how the fields terminated by. What is the delimiter? It's a comma delimiter. Yes or no? It's a comma delimiter. At the time of table creation in Hive, you need to mention fields terminated by. You need to give fields terminated by. Suppose this is my table, row format delimited. The table syntax is like this: row format delimited, fields terminated by. Suppose your data should be fields terminated by comma, but here I can give tab separated. Suppose for example pipe separated. Okay. And one more thing, lines terminated by. /n. /n, it is nothing but every line, every record in new line, right? So now by using this, I want to create this table. Okay. In Hive, use Suppose I want to create one more database. Create a database Pavan 10. Use Pavan 10. So here I can create this table. Okay, enter. So what is my fields terminated by pipe symbol, but I want to load this data. Okay, how can I load this data? Load data. The data is on top of HDFS. Here I can mention load data. Okay, in path. Load data in path. You need to mention the location. What is my location? I mean to say Hadoop workshop 2806 temp. 2806 temp. Okay, and now into table employee 1. The data got the data. See how many number of files are available? 3 files, right? 3 part-time files. It is saying 3 part-time files data got inserted. Now here the delimiter is comma. We are using pipe delimiter. So what is your data? See, select star from employee 1. You can get all the null values. Why? Because your data is delimited by comma, but at the time of table creation you have mentioned pipe delimiter. That's why you got all the null values. All the null values are inserted in your table. So how can I do this? Now I want to create another table, that is employee 2. Enter. Row format delimited, fields terminated by comma, lines terminated by /n. So previously you have created table separately and data got loaded separately, right? Table separately created, and data, for data you have written one more query. But I don't want to write one more query, just I want to mention location. Here I want to mention location. Here I want to mention location, that is /Hadoop workshop 2806 temp. Now, so at the time of table creation only, the data got loaded into table. The table also created, data also inserted into employee 2. See, now table is created. Now I can see select star from employee 2. Why it is not created?
So here we need to do MSCK repair table.
Okay. 1 minute. Okay, we'll do. Okay, I will create. Fields terminated by lines terminated by location. /Hadoop workshop. Oh, sorry. MSCK repair table employee 3. Select star from employee 3. No, we'll do one thing. In this table only, I need to mention external. Here I want to mention comma. Here I can give 4 and the location. And location slash Hadoop workshop 2806 temp. Why it is not giving this? 1 minute. We have mentioned the same thing.
So now do MSCK with the table name. Now we'll get data.
1 minute. MSCK repair. Table employee 4. Select star from employee 4. No, I don't know why it is not taking the see. Okay, anyway, we'll see later. That is location part. So if you want to load the data, into this table, okay, suppose I want to mention load data in path slash Hadoop workshop 2806 temp into table employee 4 invalid path. So that is what it is saying. Why it is not? Previously it is working, right? Hadoop workshop no files matching. So that's why it is not loading into that. Okay, suppose I want to try to load the data Hadoop workshop 2806 only. See, select star from employee 4. See, this time, see somehow why it is not that that path it is not working. So for this same path, I want to create one more table. We'll see what happened. Ideally, it should work. Okay. Employee 5. Paste. Now select star from employee 5. I don't know why it is not working this location this time. We'll see. Okay, so by using load data in path, suppose the data it is available in local LFS. So that is nothing but LFS. It is nothing but here. LFS it is. This is the data is available in HDFS path. Suppose the data is available in /home/cloudera. We need to give load data local in path at the time of loading the data into table. Suppose the data is available in a HDFS path. At the time, you can no need to mention load data local. You need to remove that local, load data in path. You need to give the HDFS path and into table name. Everything is same. Just for the local data, you need to mention local. If it is not, if it is a HDFS data, you need to remove that local. Okay. So now your data is available in Hive tables. See, select star from employee 4.
Sir, when you
Select
say the local data, what exactly you refer? You refer the data within the Hive?
No, see, within the Hive means that is nothing but suppose for example, I will tell you local, it is nothing but where exactly your HDFS data is available. Can you please tell me what is the path? Hadoop fs-ls slash Hadoop workshop. This is 2806. Here your data is available. For this data, how you can load the data? Load data in path. Load data. That is why. So here already data got loaded. That's why it is unable to show the data, right? That is why the data it is not showing, because already we have loaded the data. This file it is not available. See 2806. The same thing, Hadoop fs-ls Hadoop workshop 2806 temp. See here the partem files are not available. That's why there is no data got loaded. There is no data so here the again, I don't know why it is not, why it is showing only one partem file. So previously we have a 3 partem files, right? Why it is odd behaving? Okay, anyway, so I want to copy this data, Hadoop fs-get this data. I want to copy from HDFS location to see this data into Surya 8 /home /cloudera /Surya 8 /sample5.txt. Okay, see cd Surya 8 ll, see sample.5.txt, cat sample5.txt. Okay, so here my records, all 15 records are available, right, in one partem. So that records HDFS2 I have copied into my local file system. I want to load this data. How can I load this data? First of all, I want to create a table. What is the table? 1 minute. I want to create a table with employee 6. So here I want to copy and I can create a table. Now I want to load the data. How can I load the data? This time my data is available in a local file system. Load data local in path. See, load data local in path /home /cloudera /surya 8 /sample5.txt. Okay, into table employee 6. See, only one file. This is only one file. So now select star from employee 6. See, this is the way of difference to load the data by using LFS path and HDFS path. Suppose if you want to load the data from HDFS, so no need to give the local. You want to remove this local. Okay, is it clear? Hello? Hello, is this clear? I think someone has asked this question.
Yeah, clear.
clear. Who asked this question? Srini, you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So
So
one more
now,
question. Sorry,
yeah,
not related, because
okay.
I'm very new to this big data, so I'm asking little more question
No,
than.
no problem, no problem.
So this, when you say the HDFS, Hadoop file system, I mean converting the database table data into the Hadoop file system. So what should I think of Hadoop file system? It is exactly similar to what our the laptop system file system that it resembles, or something different.
Laptop file system means?
I mean, say the file system, like you have the system, and the system has a C drive and all those stuff, which is which contains all the files, right? So similarly,
Exactly,
the HDFC file
exactly.
system is also like Hadoop is a kind of a storage where it has got a C drive
There is
similar to
no. There is no C drive, D drive, E drive like the
no,
kind
I
of
mean,
things.
yeah,
Uh,
I can just how I can resemble. I mean, how I can just correlate. That's what my point.
see, if you want to, suppose if you want to, at the time of creation any file, for example, if you want to create any file in your Windows, for example, how can you create a file in your Windows? Either you can enter into D drive, either you can enter into E drive, either you can enter into C drive, or either you can enter into downloads, or either you can enter into your Windows D. You can go to your desktop, there you can create a file. Where exactly you have created a file, in that location the file got available. Yes or no? Is it clear?
Yeah.
Yes. The same way here the thing is, in this HDFS, you can create only 0 KB file. You can create only 0 KB file on top of HDFS under any folder, but you cannot edit any file on top of HDFS. See, for example, if I want to create one directory, so how to create a directory in your Windows? How to create a directory in Windows? Just you can go to 1 minute. You can go to your E drive. Suppose you can go to E drive, just right click, and you can give the folder, create a new folder. Here I want to give Pavan. This is how you need to create a directory. Yes or no? The same way here also we can create -mkdir. Mkdir is a command to create a directory in your LFS. But in case of Hadoop, you need to mention, for every command you need to mention before that hyphen mkdir Pavan workshop. Okay. See, I have created a table. Sorry, I have created a folder. In this folder, I want to create one file. How to create a 0 KB file in your Windows? How to create a 0 KB file in Windows? Just you can enter into this Pavan, and you need to create one new text file. Yes or no? This is text document. So this is new text document with 0 KB. The same way here also you need to create Hadoop fs hyphen one command is there, that is nothing but touchz touch command. Here you need to mention Pavan workshop / sample.txt. Okay, now I want to check whether it is created 0 KB file or not. Pavan workshop. So it was created sample.txt with 0 bytes. Yes or no? Here also we have created 0 bytes. Now, how to edit this file? New text document.txt. How we can edit this file? We can edit. Hi, this is Pavan. This is how we can edit the file, and you can control S. You can save the file and you can close it. Now the file size is 1 KB. But in case of Hadoop, we can't do like this. Hadoop FS, what is the how to edit a file on top of LFS? that is nothing but either we can use vi command or we can use nano command. So here I can give Hadoop fs -nano / Pavan workshop / sample.txt. There is no nano command. There is no nano command. The same way here I can use vi command. Va command also not available. So how to edit the file? How to edit the file? Simple. So first you want to copy this file into HDFS to LFS, and there you can edit the file, and again you can copy that file from LFS to HDFS. It means only once you can read the data, write the data, write data once and read many times. Write once and read many times. This is the Hadoop follows. Write once, read many times. Okay, once you have written, that is once you have created 0 KB file, that's it. You cannot edit that file. You cannot edit that file. The remaining thing is everything the same as in I mean to say Windows. Suppose if you want to find out one file in one particular drive, what you need to do, just you can enter and you can search it. So here also you can go to that folder, and whether that file is available or not, you can check by using ls command. That's it. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So is there any other doubts, guys?
So when we are using the scoop to HDFS, right? So the part-time files got created, and subsequent records on the left-hand side, meaning from MySQL, is got shown into the part-time file, right?
Okay.
So so the records automatically got created, and the file is also got created automatically. All those.
Yes. We
And
know
then
to,
we have.
yeah. See, once the data got available in once the data got is available in HDFS, on top of HDFS we have created some Hive tables, right? By using Hive tables, we need to create I mean to say we need to create managed tables or external tables. How can we check whether this table is managed table? How we can check whether it is a external table? Just we have one command, DSC formatted employee 6. See here, you need to identify first of all the schema of the table, in which database the table got created. Here the location of the table. Here this is the location of the table. Okay, here your data is available. Now can you please check here whether it is an external table or managed table? For managed table, it is showing as a managed underscore table. Okay, now and after that, this is what type of format data? It is a text format, text input format. So your input also text input format, and your output also text input format. Suppose if you have loaded XML data, it's a XML kind of input, and it is showing the XML kind of output. Which is Dubey. How do we register? Huh? What? How do we register 3 course and fee when we will the next class, and do we get recording also for the same? Can you please contact the Durgasoft people from tomorrow onwards? From tomorrow, this class will start from the actual classes will start from tomorrow 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Okay, Dubey. So if you want to ask this fees details and remaining details, can you please ask to I mean to say Durgasoft admin people? They will provide all the details. For this actual training classes will start from tomorrow 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. evening. Okay. Oh, thank you. So here you can identify the whatever the text input format, what is the output format and input format, and whether the table is managed table. Suppose today I have created a table, tomorrow you want to use the table. So first you want to know whether this is a managed table or external table, because suddenly if you want to delete it, the manager table, the data also got deleted. But if you deleted this external table, only table got deleted, the remaining data is available on top of HDFS. So now your data is available. Now your data is available on top of HDFS. Now what I need to do, I want this time I want to use my transformations. How can I use the transformations? Based on my STM document. See here, I can use select a count of star from table name from employee 6. So what it is saying, it in Hive, so two things are there. One is mapper and one is reducer. Two phases are available. It will take time to give the results. It will take time to give the results. So how we can do this as fast? So how we can retrieve the records? How can we retrieve the result very fast? By using Spark. By using Spark also we can read Hive tables by using Spark. How can we read that? Okay, we'll see now. So in this Spark shell, first I want to enter into this Spark shell. So in this Spark shell, so once you have typed this Spark hyphen shell, why we are using Spark? Basically in Hadoop, suppose if you written MapReduce program, the data is stored in hard disk. It is the data got stored in hard disk. But in Spark, it is data got stored in memory. In memory, it is nothing but RAM. One time it was read the data table, the table data it was read only once. The next time onwards, it will give the result very much fast. But in case of Hadoop, it won't like that. How many times you can give select a count of stars, it will take the same time. But in Spark, once the data read from the table, it will store into the in memory. So then the next time if you give the select a count of star, it will result very much fast. Very much fast, it will display the result. We'll see how it will read the tables from Hive tables by using Spark. By using Spark, how we can read the tables. Okay, 1 minute, I will show you. So initially, what we need to do, first you want to import the data. First you want to import. How to import this Hive context? So for every Spark, we have to create a Spark context, Spark conf, Hive context, SQL context. If you want to read the data from Hive tables, first you want to create a Hive context. How to create a Hive context? First you want to import it. What is you can import? 1 minute. org.apache.spark.sql.hive context. Hive context. So here first you want to import this Hive context into Spark. Okay. So next you want to give one variable that is called it as Hive context. Val Hive context equal to for this you want to create one object. For this you need to create one object, new org of SC. What is SC? SC, it is nothing but Spark context. Okay. Now you want to import one more thing. Import okay. Now import Hive dot Hive context dot. So all the libraries context dot. So you want to import the Hive context and you have to create a Hive variable. Now what you need to do, you want to the val rdd equal to hive dot hive context dot hive context dot SQL. Now here you can give select where exactly you have created a table under Pavan show databases Pavan 10. Okay, so I want to use Pavan 10. Okay, select Pavan 10 dot employee 6. Select count of star from Pavan 10 dot 6, and here we can mention dot show. See here. So how much time it takes for in Hive? Suppose when compared to Hive, so how much time it takes? 57.0858 seconds. See in Spark, for example, if I want to run the same thing again, it will give the result immediately. See, first time this much lines have created, lines has it was displayed it, right? Then only it will give the result. The count is 15 records. One time the table data has read, see the second time it will give the result immediately. So whatever the operations you have done, whatever the schema you have done, so here this is a RDD, because RDD doesn't have the result. It cannot able to see in the tabular format. So that how we can see the tabular format? So here we can convert this RDD into data frame. How we can convert into our data frame? Dot show dot 2df. Sorry, RDD dot 2df. Okay, 1 minute. Val RDD df equal to RDD dot 2df. It is not converting. So by using 2df, we can convert into we can convert the data into from RDD. What is RDD? RDD doesn't have any schema. RDD. So what is the difference between RDD and the data frame? RDD doesn't have any schema, but data frame has schema. So we need to convert any 2df. It is right. Why it is not? Okay, we'll do one thing. See, now val rdd dot show. Okay, we'll do one thing. Select star from okay. So here I want to do rdd dot show. See, it is in the form of tabular format, because if you are not converted this dot show, if you are not converted this, already we have converted, so that's why it is giving like this. Okay. Okay, so actually, so here what we are doing, we are reading a table. We are reading the table. Suppose, for example, 1 minute. Guys, here what we are doing by using here, we are reading a table from Hive table. But suppose if you want to read any, if you want to read val rdd equal to sc dot text file. Suppose if you want to read any file data. Okay, so here you can observe clearly text dot file of, suppose I want to create one file here, suppose Hadoop fs-ls / Naresh. I want to Hadoop fs-ls / okay. Naresh 1. I can give Naresh 1. There is no delta. 1 minute, guys. Naresh 5. Okay, so here I want to read this sample1.txt from sample1.txt from Naresh 5. Okay, so where it is, slash Naresh 5 dot sorry slash sample1.txt dot show. Read text file. Sc dot text file. Okay, so here and Okay. Well, sorry. Well, it's equal to sc dot text file. Okay, suppose I can give like this slash home slash cloudera slash 8 slash sample. Cat sample2.txt. Okay, sample2.txt.
Yeah. There is a lot of noise coming. Could someone mute there?
Yeah, yes. Guys, can you please mute yourself? Okay. So here I can mention HD. Oh, sorry, guys. See, now the data got read. So now rdd dot show. So here what I have done, I have to read one table. I want to read one data, one text file data. See here, rdd dot for each of println, for each of println. Okay, see here the data like this, right? So here once you have applied action, then only you can give the result. That's why Spark, we call it as lazy evolution. So once you have applied transformation on rdd, you didn't get any reply, you didn't get any result. Okay, once you have applied action only, then only you can get the result. So now your val rdd, suppose val rdd 1 equal to rdd dot for each println, for each of println. Okay, now okay, suppose you want to convert this val rdd1 dot to df. Suppose, sorry, val rdd dot to df.
What does 2df does?
df to df, it is nothing but it is converting rdd into data frame. Data frame, it is nothing but df, it is nothing but a data frame. So rdd doesn't have any schema. Okay, but 2df, if you want to convert your data into tabular format, suppose Everything should be, if you want to join any table, right? Two tables. So first you want to create a table and you have to load the data. So here also first you want to read the data, and you can convert the data into tabular format. Sorry, tabular format that is converted into .2df. See, val. So previously we can't use .show. So now we can use .show, because now your RDD, see, now your data is in one single row. But previously, if you give Hadoop for each .println, so what it is, the data is kind like this. It is not a tabular format. Now your data is in tabular format. See, this is how we need to convert the data. First, you need to read the data by using RDD, and then you can convert it to data frame. So most of the things in your real-time scenario also, you can join. First you want to read the tables from Hive, and also you can join the tables, and you can apply transformations, and you can store the data into again Hive or HBase. All these kinds, we have a different use cases are there. Okay, so that we can do based on the requirement. So this is total Hadoop Spark with Scala workshop, guys. So you guys are having any questions? Can you please ask me?
So total, how many days it will take, and do you give the project something like that?
Yes, yes, yes.
Certification.
The total duration of this course is two months. Okay, 2 months, and I will provide 2 projects. And also for each and every topic is completed, I can give some assignments. Okay, like suppose first I will start the training from Linux commands. First Linux commands is completed, I will provide assignments. After that, Hadoop commands is completed, I can give few assignments. After that, scoop. So that each and every topic is completed, I will provide few assignments. Once Hadoop training is completed, so here the training was differentiated by 2 parts. First one is part 1, part 2. Part 1 is Hadoop, and second one is Spark. First Hadoop is completed. Once Hadoop completely completed, training is completed, I can give one complete project by using Scoop, Hive, and everything. Once Spark is completed, I can provide one more project. This is how the training will happen. Still any doubts, guys?
Hello, sir. Guru here.
Okay, Guru, yeah, tell me.
So you are while you demonstrating this workshop, you have told block size is 64 something, right? So like you are telling about Hadoop 1.x or Hadoop 2.x.
See, I will give 3 architectures: Hadoop 1.x, Hadoop 2.x, and Hadoop 3.x. Currently, we have total 3 architectures are available in Hadoop. Okay, I will provide
Yeah.
all 3 architectures in Hadoop 1.x. What are the drawbacks, and in Hadoop 2.x, what are the drawbacks? In Hadoop 3.x, how to overcome this 1 and 2 in 3. Okay, I will give all the details. No problem. Okay, you don't worry. I will provide all the details.
Yeah. Coming to Spark, so are you dealing with the data sets or only data frames?
I will provide the both 3 things: RDDs, data frames, and data sets also. Okay, 3 things I will cover.
So can I assume? So currently I'm working a professional on Hive. So I'm planning to switch from Hive to Spark. So can I expect experience level knowledge? So,
Yeah, yeah, sure, definitely, 100%, 100%.
okay, okay.
See, currently, how to develop your Hive queries in Edge node only you have written the queries, or by using shell script you have written these queries and you have parameterization. How you can do this?
So currently from Edge node only we are executing our queries.
Yes, yes, but in our real time scenario, it's not a good practice. It's not a good practice. So by using
Yeah.
shell script, by using shell script, you want to parameterization everything, and you can execute that shell script by using Eclipse. Any one of the IDE is nothing but any one of the Eclipse, or we have multiple things are there. So by using Eclipse also, I will tell you how to write a shell script and how to do parameterization and how to execute scripts. Everything I can explain. Okay.
Okay, so one last question. So are you dealing with the Spark streaming also at the end of Spark?
Yes, I can give one example in by using Spark streaming, Kafka, and Flume also. Okay.
So okay, means you are explaining whole architecture, and based upon the architecture, you will be demonstrating one example, right?
Exactly. Yes, that's it. That's it.
Okay, okay, okay. That's all from my end.
Okay. Thank you, Guru. Guys, remaining guys, any doubts? Only how many people are there? Srini and Guru are left. Okay, Srini, do you have any questions?
Uh, so from certification perspective as well, you will assist
Uh,
us,
no.
not
I
fully.
can't. I can't assist. I can't assist.
Okay.
Okay.
And so this gives the overall. I mean, I do not have. I mean, I did not see the contents of what is going to be covered in the coming days, but I believe
So
it covers all the big data
yeah.
stuff, right? Okay.
Yes. I can provide. So if you can ask to the Durgasoft people, they will provide your course content also. Okay. It's not a big deal.
What are the class timings?
Night 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. So currently you are in US.
Yeah, I'm in US. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now I can clearly understand it. Somehow I think I think some few people are washing some plates or something. I think so. I got that some sound. So that's why you are in US. So previously I think you are in Hyderabad
No, I
initially.
think no.
Yeah. Okay. So 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. I think your time is 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Is it okay for you? Hello, Srini.
Yeah, I need to check about because usually I mean, here the work begins at 8 o'clock only. But if I can
Okay.
adjust, I need to check the meetings and all that. Then
Yeah. Sure, definitely.
I'm not in the big data side basically, so I'm from Java background. So just wanted to some interest. I wanted to move the full stack
Okay.
and the big data.
Okay. No problem.
So like mean or something like that you have, right? For the big data as well, like you have any package which contains the AWS DevOps and the big data, something like that, or it is all are different
All
streams?
are all are different Srini.
Okay.
So yeah, I can't provide in this training only Hadoop and Spark only. Spark with Scala. I can't give this AWS and everything that is comes. That is the another package. Okay. Currently, I'm not dealing that.
Sure.
Yeah. So if you don't have any questions, we will wind up this call. Is it okay?
So the classes begins from Monday, is it?
Tomorrow onward. Tomorrow
Yeah.
only.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for your patience, Pawan. Bye.
Bye.